What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is 5 winter objects I only used after moving to America, lost in the pond.
Great.
Been a while since
I'm
we've
ready.
done him, I think.
It is a while, yes. We did the summer objects, so I'm really interested for the winter objects.
Yes, we've done that one. That was that air con and stuff like that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
the ceiling fan that I still haven't got.
Yeah, the ceiling fan we don't have. It kind of just highlighted the heat it gets in America compared to here.
Yeah.
I guess this is going to highlight the opposite end of the spectrum as well.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Smash that button guys, smash that subscribe button, and let's check out 5 winter objects I only used after moving to America. What we got?
In England, I've never known weather that would sort of necessitate this kind of headgear. There's wind, but there's not sort of wind that brings along with it a wind chill of minus a billion.
That's funny.
Hello, I'm Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to the weather. Of course, the weather in both countries at this time of year gets a little cold, and we as human beings have to survive. In order to do so, we don't just shut ourselves in our houses and stick the heating on high. I mean, we do that.
Yeah,
We do that, like the fire.
But there are other ways in which we survive.
Yeah,
and that is
when we obviously put the heat on. When we go up to yours in the winter, it's red hot. It's the hottest house in Jersey,
We've got a fire at ours, and we've got our own wood. We chop our own wood, so we're quite rural really, and we're quite self-sufficient. We like to do everything ourselves. So
ever.
yeah, so we light the fire at winter, and I keep it with the logs on it all day really.
Yeah, it's freezing outside and you're in the house just sweating.
Yeah, so we try to be self-sufficient.
through the use of winter objects. Growing up in England, I will tell you now, there were certain winter objects with which I was familiar, you know, sledges instead of sleds, or toboggans. Did the same thing, pretty much. And just thin woolen gloves and snowballs. They're not an object, that's just snow congealed. But after moving to America, I realised there were actually a plethora of different objects I'd never encountered before because I never needed them. And so what we're going to do today is we are going to go down 1 to 5, actually no, in reverse order, 5 to 1, and look at the very objects about which I'm speaking. Now before we do get underway here, just a quick disclaimer and a recap, the disclaimer being that some of these objects may well turn up in England. It's just that I didn't have cause to use them back in England, and I don't think that I was an outlier in that regard, whereas the objects I'm about to talk about are actually quite commonplace here in the United States as opposed to in England. Okay, so that's the disclaimer, and the reminder is when I first moved to the United States, I moved to the American Midwest. Very specifically, I moved to the middle of Indiana. I've since moved on to Chicago. Of course, in both places and in much of the northern United States, snow and cold weather is absolutely paramount. That's probably not the right word. There's an abundance of it, shall we say, and we'll be looking at that as compared to the UK in a future video. But without further ado, let's take a look at 5 winter objects I didn't use until I moved to America. Well, this is an interesting one. So shovels, absolutely.
Yeah, so we know what a snow shovel is, I guess, but we don't really get enough snow to use one, do we?
We don't, but I do. We'll have to tell you this. I have used a snow shovel.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But it's not for shoveling snow.
Oh, for the horse.
It was for the horses when they're on shavings.
And was it called a snow shovel?
Yes, it was called a snow shovel.
Oh, wow.
And we used that because it was easier to actually clean the horse out and muck the horse out with a snow shovel than any other apparatus. So thank you, America, for the snow shovel, because it really helped.
So they
but
do
we
exist
didn't
in
use
England,
it for snow.
But it's not used for snow.
No, it's not used for snow.
Absolutely exist in the United Kingdom. It's just that they're usually used for shoveling dirt. And because of the sort of rare event that is snow, you won't usually find somebody purchasing what is referred to as a snow shovel that's sold as a snow shovel. Because there are differences between a snow shovel and a regular shovel. Yeah? It's usually size, because everything is bigger in America, and snow shovels are no different. And of course, snow itself is no different, at least here in the north. It was in my first winter here, my brother-in-law showed me how to use one. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It does what it says on the tin. Just grab it by the handle and whatever that bit is, the neck, and do that and throw it. It's a lot of hard labour. Nobody tells you that going in. And my brother-in-law didn't tell me that going in, and I left with cramp in my arm. Actually, it would have been very useful if you'd have told me about the next entry on this list, you brother. Unfortunately, just like the shovel, I don't have one of those handy to show you because...
What do you reckon a snowblower is then?
I imagine it's like a leaf blower.
Or just blowing it away? Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
But maybe, does it have heat to melt it?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Rent these days.
don't know.
But they are absolutely brilliant. And again, I've only used one once, but it was the absolute coolest machine.
Oh, that
literally,
sounds
'cause
exciting,
it was
this.
filled with snow. But the thing is about it, it's not filled with snow. I mean, it is temporarily, but what you do is you just push it along like this.
Oh, it's not
through
what I
the snow,
thought.
And it
Like
just
a
pushes all
lawnmower.
the snow out to the
It's
side.
not what I
It's a bit-
thought.
Usually hits family members. Brother-in-laws specifically. I did apologise at the
that
time.
must be so much
and
fun.
I still haven't spoken to him since. But they are absolutely amazing. We just don't have cause to use them much in the UK. You may see members of the council using them, but not actual human beings. So that was quite a revelation to realise that a lot of people had snowblowers just hanging around in their sheds. And the sheds were covered in snow too, so you had to use the snow shovel just to get into them, to get to the snowblower. It was like it defeated the purpose entirely. Until you did the garden. Both of these come in handy when you're just trying to get through the snow and to your actual car. We experienced this for about 8 years when we owned a car while living in Indiana, and I will tell you one of the worst jobs during winter is shoveling the snow away from the vehicle just so you can get out. Sometimes it gets 2
that
feet
must be
deep
so
and
hard.
you can't even see your car, much less get in it. And then once you've cleared all that away, you've still
That's
got to
crazy.
contend with the ice on the windscreens.
That's crazy.
You can either turn on the car, heat it all the way up and just sit for an hour until it all melts. That's not happening. Or something else you could do if you were in a rush, which was me most days because I slept through my alarm, is you could scrape all of that ice off with what is known as an ice scraper.
Yeah, I'd say these are quite common in the UK. An ice scraper.
Well, we have an ice scraper that's very small. They're about this big. They're tiny.
You can fit them in your car. You get them out your car and do it.
Yeah, so see what Americans are ice scrapers like. Maybe it's bigger.
Maybe. I mean, we don't have one in our car anymore, but we used to, and I feel like you used to always have one.
Yeah, we did used to have one, but it's very small, tiny thing.
Not necessarily for snow, but just for the cold.
Ice.
We put ice,
or to get the condensation off.
Yeah.
Again, I think they have these in the UK, but they're only used really in very, very extreme circumstances. This is something that you will do multiple times every single winter up here in the Midwest of the United States. I know, I did it, and I got a return to that arm cramp that I got from the shovel. It is just one long winter of arm cramp. I will say this, though, there is something quite pleasing about that. If you're wearing the right gloves and it's not too cold out, never do the ice scraping without gloves because you'll regret it 5 minutes after getting into the car. But if you've got gloves on and you're doing that, it is quite cathartic. You know, so long as you don't break the windscreen. Sometimes it feels like you are doing that because you're scraping off basically ice, which can look and sound like glass. And then once you've scraped off all the ice, right, and there's just bits of powdery ice on the windscreen and bits of snow, the best thing then to do is just open the door and slam it, and you just cause this avalanche on the car. So long as you don't cause an actual avalanche. If you're living in the mountains, just be careful. I mentioned their gloves. It is very important to have good gloves, but equally important while you're wading through all of this snow is our fourth entry. I truly didn't believe how...
See, we have wellies, don't we?
We have wellies, yeah.
Which is like mainly for mud, I guess, not really the snow.
Yeah, but we don't have snow to this degree, so
no,
probably
we don't.
not.
But we would wear our wellies if there was snow, I guess.
Oh yeah, we would wear our wellies. I can remember your grandma bought me some boots years ago. Maybe what's America, they were called moon boots. They were these big things to walk to school in, but there was no snow, so I don't know how she did that. But anyway, she did.
A fashion statement.
It must have been a fashion thing at the time.
But yeah, like I say, we do have wellies.
Yeah, we have wellies, but they're quite cold wellies.
Yeah.
We have to wear thick socks.
And with snow, stuff can get inside them quite easily.
Yeah.
Bad it was going to get in the Midwest until I actually saw it with my own eyes. So after doing all of the shoveling or the snow blowing or the scraping of the ice, I realised that I'd made the mistake of wearing sneakers in the snow the whole time. Don't do that because there's a number of reasons. Firstly, the snow gets inside your shoe. You don't want that. And also, it's just cold and wet all round, so you need to be able to keep your feet warm. I think that's almost the most important thing because those are the things that are going into the actual snow. So to do that, you have to have one of these.
They look good.
You need to,
yeah, they look really warm as well.
Oh, they look gorgeous.
It's a boot, but look at it. It's bigger than me. And I have to get inside this. It is, you do feel protected.
Snow's getting
I feel
in
like
there.
a foot soldier when I'm wearing this. And I do have another one just for the record. It's right here. Sorry, they've not been cleaned since last winter. I'll get round to that. Put one of them down because they are cumbersome and heavy. Arm cramp, again, arm cramp is the thing that happens in winter. But they are absolutely amazing, and they do keep your feet warm. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And if you're ever set upon by an enemy, just kick them between the legs with this and they'll never come after you again. It's really, though, 2 boots. It's this black boot right there that you see, but inside it is this sort of, I'm going to pull it out,
cozy one.
wrestling boot. I've never noticed that before.
Your
Again,
thermal
if
liner.
somebody comes at you, just pretend you are Ric Flair. Put that down. They're really good. I love them. I've had these 2 years. Absolutely need them in Chicago, especially if you're cycling in Chicago. That's nuts. Who does that in the snow? I did last winter. I'm a brave soul. I wouldn't be quite as brave, though, if I didn't have the final entry on this list.
Face shield.
So this is a face shield.
So we don't call that face shield, do we?
No, we call it balaclava.
Yeah, which we do have them in the UK, but I don't think it's for the snow
No.
purposes. It's not really worn that often, is it?
I think motorcyclists sometimes wear them, don't
Yeah,
they?
for the wind and stuff like that.
Yeah, but we don't really.
Yeah, but that's a difference in
Or
itself.
people who are going to rob banks sometimes wear them. Or
Yeah,
movies.
Yeah, if you do the crime and stuff like that. But yeah, we call them balaclavas, don't we?
Yes.
And you know what its important job is that not only does it sort of keep snow off you and things like that, the important thing that it does is it keeps the cold wind, the harsh wind of Chicago off you. It also keeps those people that come at you off you. They'll think you're a Bond baddie and call MI6 or something. I don't know why I'm wearing this. Sorry if it looks terrifying. I'll take it down because there's no wind in here. I don't really need it, and actually it's making it very hard to breathe, which isn't good when you're trying to present a video. But this is one of the best acquisitions I ever made as an athlete here in Chicago. I'm not an athlete. I mean, I ride to work for recreation. I wouldn't be seen dead wearing this in England. There'd be no reason to wear this in England. You don't want to wear one of these while it's raining. That's for sure, because it would just get soaked all round. In England, I've never known weather that would sort of necessitate this kind of headgear. There's wind, but there's not sort of wind that brings along with it a wind chill of -1 billion. I'm trying to think of a scenario in which you would need it. It doesn't quite go with the tweed hat. But I absolutely love it on me. My wife loves it on me.
I know.
What do you mean you don't? That's it for this episode. Thank you for joining me
good.
here.
That's funny, yeah. He's so funny as well.
Very witty,
he's so
isn't he?
interesting and factual, but he's funny with it. It makes me laugh.
Definitely,
I love it.
it's
I
a
love
great
his
channel,
videos.
and go and check him out if you haven't seen him. But I'm sure all you legends have, and we've got a lot more of his videos to do.
Oh,
so,
good. So he's funny, and he teaches you a lot as well.
you learn, like you say, face shield is a difference as well. Snowblower probably the maddest one out of there.
I like the snowblower.
Yeah,
That
it's
would
just
be
a lawnmower
so
for
much
snow,
fun.
isn't it? It makes a bit of fun, doesn't it? Doing it.
Yeah, I'd love to do
But
that.
yeah, enjoy that.
I loved it. Yes.
Good. Like I say, we don't get too much snow, but when we do, maybe some of these will come in handy.
Yes.
Smash that button, guys. Smash that subscribe, and what should we do?
Have a great day.
And we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.